Alright, so today we want to talk about extended chords. Alright, what is extended chord? Any chord that has notes more than the root, the third, and the fifth is simply the extended chord, and we have a lot of extended chords as far as music is concerned. We have so many kinds of extended chords, and we're talking about them gradually. And the very first one we'll talk about is chords with 4 different notes. So it has the root, the third, the fifth. Remember in one of our classes I told you that the formation of chord is the tertian chords, right? It's the tertian chord which make use of superimposed thirds, right? So from the root to the third, it's 3 notes. From the third to the fifth, it's another 3 notes. And from the fifth to the seventh, another 3 notes, right? So an example of extended chords that we'll be dealing with today is the one with the 7th. So it has the root, the third, the fifth, and the 7th with the interval of thirds apart, 3 notes apart. The 7th chord is an example of an extended chord because it has an extra note above the 5th, which is the 7th. For example, a major 7th chord, which is MM7. Alright, it's MM7, or you can just call it the major 7th, MEJ7, right? It has the major triad and the major 7th. A major 7th means it has a major triad, that is the first 3 notes, the root, the third, and the fifth, will form a major triad. The extension now is a major third. So the 7th from the 5th to the 7th is a major third. Or simply you can say a major triad, then a major 7th, right? A major 7th. We also have another arrangement. So the second kind of extended chord is the dominant 7th chord, and dominant 7th chord has a major triad and a minor 7th. Remember, small letter M means minor, right? A minor 7th. You can go back in time to check how many semitones has a minor 7th, and of course it's 10 semitones, right? So from the root to the 7th, you are to count 10 semitones, right? So that gives you a minor 7th, right? A dominant 7th can also be called DOM7, right? You can also look at it this way, that it has the major triad and the minor 7th or the minor third above it. That's from the 5th to the 7th is a minor third. Or like I described here, you have a major triad and a minor 7th. From the root to the 7th will give you a minor 7th, right? Okay, now let's see some examples of these 2 kinds of extended chords. Alright, that's the major 7th chord and the dominant 7th chord. Right, the very first one is this, and it has C, E, G, and B. So C, E, G, and B. Alright, and it is called the C major 7th. You can build it on D, on F, but this is just an A stance. So it means from the root to the 5th is a major chord, right? It has a major triad or a major chord. And you have the major 7th, that is from the root to the 7th, we give a major 7th, right? Give a major 7th. So from 7th to B is a major 7th, and that is C major 7th, right? That's C major 7th. And let's look at the second one. So we have C, E, G, and B flat. Right, that's C dominant 7, simply C7. So that's the difference between C major 7th and C7. So they're not the same, right? They are not the same because they don't sound the same. though they have few similar notes, quite alright, but they are not the same because of the seventh. C major seventh has a major seventh because from C to D is a major seventh, but C dominant seventh, it has a minor seventh, right? Because from C to D flat is a minor seventh. Let me give you a work to do. The question is, we've talked about C major seventh, C dominant seventh. So how do you build a C minor seventh? Remember, you are dealing with a minor triad. In C minor seventh, you are dealing with a minor triad. So how do you build that? So you can leave your answer in the comment section. Now let's talk about minor seventh chord. So another kind of extended triad or extended chord is the minor seventh, right? So we've talked about the dominant seventh, talk about the major seventh. So we have the minor seventh. It is built on a minor triad and a minor seventh, right? Remember, a major seventh chord has a major triad and a major seventh, while a dominant seventh has a major triad and a minor seventh. Now, a minor seventh chord has the minor triad and a minor seventh. So try to get the difference between the three. It's very, very important. Alright, so we're going to be talking about them in more details as we progress. Alright, you can call it MM seventh, right? Or MIN seventh. If you read lead score a lot, you'll see all the symbols written on a piece of music. Alright, so they want you to be specific in playing such kind of chord, right? It has a minor triad, like I said, and a minor third. Okay, so from the 5th to the 7th is a minor third. Let's talk about some examples and using E. So G, B, that's E minor seventh chord, right? And let's see the other example: A, C, E, G, and that's A minor seventh chord, right? You see that in E minor seventh, from here down here is a minor triad, and from here down to the 7th is a minor seventh. Okay, and the second one, ACE, remember ACE is a minor triad, forming the 6th chord or the submedian chord on C major scale. And from A to G is a minor seventh, right? So don't mix it up for anything. Now let's continue. Let's go to the next one. Let's talk about another kind of extended chord, which is the diminished chord. So we're going to build it on C major, right? So let's see. A diminished chord can be half diminished or fully diminished, right? So we're going to talk about the difference between them. As a musician, it is very, very important for you to know the difference between the two, right? So fully diminished triad or a fully diminished chord and half diminished chord. What is the difference between the two? Of course, they look alike, but they are not the same. Alright, this is a symbol for half diminished seventh chord, right? It has a slash. So when you see that, then you know what it means. And fully diminished just has the symbol, right? Has the symbol. So that's the major difference between them. But let's look at the notes combination or the pitches that make up the half diminished seventh chords. Right, let's see. In half diminished seventh, from the 5th to the 7th is a major third, but every other interval you have on this chord has the minor third. So from the root to the third is a minor third, and from the third to the fifth is another minor third. But from the fifth to the seventh is the major third. So that gives you half diminished seventh, right? But in fully diminished triad, you have a stack of minor thirds, right? So every other interval that make up the triad has a minor third. So that's the difference between the two. Alright, now let's see the example. So the very first one, B, D, F, A. So from B to D is a minor third. From D to F is another minor third. But from F to A is a major third. So you have minor third, and major third. That's half diminished seventh, right? Alright, and it sounds this way. B, F, A. Right? That's B half diminished seventh, right? And that's the symbol there. Now let's see the second one. Let's say the fully diminished seventh, right? So you see that from B to D is a minor third. From D to F is also a minor third. And from F to A flat is another minor third. It has stack of minor thirds. So that is called the fully diminished seventh, right? We'll have diminished, right? So don't miss it. So this is called the B fully diminished seventh, right? So this is half diminished, right? Half diminished, and this is fully diminished. So apart from the half diminished sevenths, the fully diminished sevenths, the minor sevenths, major sevenths, and the dominant seventh chords, we have other kinds of extended chords. We're going to talk about them here using C major as an instance, right? More thirds can be added to the sevenths of the chord. So in that case, we can have 9th, the 11th, and the 13th chords, right? So above the 7th, you can have the 9th, you can have the 11th, and you can have the 13th. So quickly, if you add a third above the 7th, so you have this, and that is a 9th. So this is the 7th B, right? So you can have the 9th as D. And you can add another third to the 9th, which is C, B, D, F, right? So that is 11th. And of course, you can also add another third above the 11th. So it will be C, B, D, F, A. So that's 13th, right? And we can have more than that, because if you try to add the third to the 13th, you go back to the root again. So that's the highest extension that you can have.